waterproofed. Belinda loves eating with her friends. It's not just the food. She enjoys eating together at the table with your friends, don't you? And this is your bedroom, and we have decorated your bedroom with pictures of you and all your cousins and your aunts and uncles and your grandparents, haven't we? This is the van, isn't it? This is your van. You like the van. And this is where you all go out. You all go out in the van for your outings. And down here is a picture of you at riding for the disabled. You love the horses. You've done that since you're a little girl. Yeah. Riding for the disabled has enabled horses to be part of Belinda's life since she was 4 or 5. She loves the animals, and riding helps her with her balance and your posture. Riding on the horses has taught you to sit up straight and to stay straight, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Belinda has finished school and started going to a day service where she has her friends and she gets out and about in the community and does lots of active things like posting the mail and posting pamphlets and tidying up reserves, don't you? It's Dad and Belinda in the car. You love going in the car. When we pick Belinda up to bring her home, she always insists on sitting in the front seat beside Dad, because you like the radio, don't you? Even back at our family home, Belinda wants to listen to the music and asks straight away for it. She sits and watches the stereo intently. Okay, up here is you and I swimming. You love to swim. We swim together often. Swimming was Belinda's favourite pastime until she became sick. This day at the beach she began to swim again after many years of being scared of the water. And here's you and Dad at the beach under the shade of the tree. And the other year, Jennifer, your biggest sister, got married, and we had a lovely big wedding, didn't we?
Yeah.
And here's all your sisters and brother. You've got Prue and Jennifer.
Yeah.
And who's this? That's
Katie.
Katie and Mummy and James.
Yeah.
It's James, your brother James, isn't it?
Yep.
Kia ora, my name is Sylvia Tai, and these are the stories of my life. I'm a member of Whakatohea. Our marae is Irapuaia at Waiweka near Ōpōtiki. But I live in Whakatane now. I was the 4th child. David was the next. Everyone goes through hard times, and David and I both have disabilities. I could walk easily when I was a child, but not now. I remember twisting my ankle at school, chasing the girls. I could still run then. We lived close to the marae with whānau around. My parents spoke Māori to each other, but not to us kids. I can understand most of what they say. We had heaps of people coming from all around New Zealand and Australia, and we sat down and talked with them. Some were high school students. They came to learn about the ways of Māori. My dad's chair of the Marae Committee and the Whakatohea Trust Board. We went to the primary school by the marae and then to Ōpōtiki College until David started getting weaker and needed a wheelchair. He came to live in Whakatane to go to school there. In 1985, I came over to Whakatane to work at the workshop. Marion, the boss, couldn't get anything out of me. I was so shy at first. I travelled home for the first year. It's about an hour's drive each way. One day I missed the van home from work. My parents lived in a Hopi then, and the social worker gave me a lift home. Percy was in her car. He was staying at her place. By the time Mum opened the door, Percy and I were holding hands. It was like love at first sight for Percy and I have been together for 17 years. I came to live in a flat in Whakatane with support from service provider. I liked coming to live in town. I joined People First and was the president in the Eastern Bay of Plenty. When we had the 1993 conference, I liked it because people communicated with one another. I'm just the sidekick now, helping out. I worked for 10 years washing dishes and sweeping floors. It got a bit boring and I asked for a change. I worked in the garden in horticulture. That got too tough with so much lifting and the bosses change. Now I do arts and crafts and contract work inside. We've paid $35 a week. They gave it all to us at Christmas. I also clean at a plumbing shop 2 mornings a week. They gave me $70 a week. Money doesn't bother me, but I need it to pay my bills and to get away for a holiday. My Thursday pay goes for a holiday in Australia. Percy has 3 jobs in the morning. He takes tyres off wheels at a car wreckers. After lunch, he sweeps the yards and goes out on the truck for a concrete supplier. In the evening, he does voluntary work as a Māori warden in the hospital. Him and Morris help visitors and make sure everyone is safe in the car park. We've saved for our own flat. We've been here nearly 5 years and it's nearly paid off. The only thing I need now is one of those motorised scooters. Then I could get around more to see my friends. Mavis lives in a rest home near our flat. She was in an institution as a child until she was over 30. Julie Patterson is a friend and my hairdresser. Justin's like a home help. He shows us new recipes, takes us shopping, helps with our money. He's a babe at the workshop. They call him Playboy. When he comes, our cat, Wairua Spiritual, sits near him. He took the photo in the cafe with our friend Claudette. I'm with Ruth Gerson, who takes us away on trips. We enjoy her company. Priscilla, trainee at the workshop, is like a mother figure to me. Dave, he's staff with my friend Monica. Morris is a good friend who always helps us. Aniana Manuel was one of my best friends. She passed away a year ago. I miss her heaps. I've been away from home for 16 years, but I'm still close to my parents. I always tell them how much I love them, and they say it back to me. I'm glad they're still here. My brother David and his partner Joy, they live in Tauranga. Uncle Ra and his wife Auntie Patsy, with other church elders, are ministers in the Māori Presbyterian Church. We go every week. I'm here and my parents are back home It's all Māori, like having a whānau. It makes me feel good, safe and secured. My life's good. I learn from other people, taking ideas in. I like being with people. I laugh a lot, cheering them up and keeping them amused. It's friends and whānau of all cultures that make my life good.
Kia ora, my name is Rainus Baker. I'm now convening with my storyboard that I did about 3 years ago. I was born in New Zealand and lived here until I left school. I went to Te Huranuri Special School and then Trident High School. I enjoyed it at Trident, especially going on the school camps. My family are all important to me, especially my mum, who was always been supportive. She's a wonderful mother. She and Bill, my stepfather, brought me up. He's like a father to me. He is caring. He has a hard case, sense of humour, like Billy T. James. He gave me my first smoke. He said, smoke it like a train. I did, and it put me off for life. My stepfather's mum, Nana Dai, lived in Tauranga. She has passed away now. She was special. My sister Janice and her family. Beside me are mum and dad, and the fair-headed woman is my sister Tanya and her girl Kayla. Nana May and Uncle Alistair have known mum since she was a little girl and was good friends with their children. When I came on the scene, we lived down the road in Turua, near Thames. We used to stay with them when I was little. They came to Whakatane for old-time dancing and come to see me. When I left school, I went to Australia to live with my auntie. I went to one workshop there. It wasn't my cup of tea. It was hot and sticky. And they put me onto bagging sawdust. They didn't give me an opportunity to say what I wanted to do. I couldn't get on the benefit over there. I missed my friends in New Zealand, so I came home. By then, Mum and Bill had moved to Australia, so I boarded with a family and then moved into a home run by a service provider in Whakatane. That was hard. One of the people who lived there was always repeating himself and banging things. In the house, you have to get in by a certain time. There wasn't the freedom like I got here. Now I live with Margaret and Graham and Justin at Whitehorse Drive, Whakatane. They let me do things. I just tell them where I'm going and when I'll be back. Graham's watching me cook hamburgers. One of my goals is learning how to cook meal. I feed the cat and bring the washing in and get the firewood. If I go flatting on my own, I need to learn to do these things. These are my new curtains. They really spruce my room up. Judy Burke is a staff member. She has been a really good friend. If Margaret and Graham go away, I stay the night at her place. Sometimes I go to Australia in the holidays to see Mum and Bill, and I get to see my aunties and Nana, who still lives in New Zealand. I enjoy working. I have 2 jobs, one at a car wreckers, one at a panel beaters. They're really good bosses. They give me money to top up my benefit. The ones at the wreckers take me to the auctions in Tauranga and Hamilton and out onto their boat. Sometimes I go to their place to mow the lawn. I like going to work so I can learn new things. If I get myself a car, I'll now know how to panel beat it. I am the Midland Regional President for People First and on the National Committee. I am with all the People First presidents on the stage at the Inclusion International Congress in Melbourne. It is about speaking out for ourselves, and we also speak for those that can't speak up for themselves. It's been going a long time. I have done the Human Rights Commission training so I can teach other people about their rights. I love reading newspapers. I look at what's on at the pictures and other things happening in Whakatane or around the world. I've been going to the cinema since way back when Norm Hendricks had it as the Regent Theatre. Then the Williamsons had it, and I worked as an usher at the weekends in cleaning the theatre. Now the new owners, Judith and Roger Claridge, are very good to us. They let people with disabilities in for $5. I like comedy and action, not the violent films. I started going out with Viola when I lived in Apotiki. We're best friends. She works in a supermarket. This is me at Takatutahi Church with Reverend Rakoia. Church is good. The people are friendly. I'm Māori, Ngāti Awa, but I wasn't brought up close to a marae. But Māori friends and staff have taught me wāta, how to do a pauwhari, to open and close meetings with karakia, and what to do in meeting houses. A representative here of Whakatane, and learn to speak Māori is one of my goals. Other goals are learning how to drive a car, going flatting, getting a job with proper pay. I love my life.
Walter was brought up by his grandparents who have since passed away. Their story is read by his aunt, who starts with a mihi in Māori.
O tēnā kaitai katoa, he hono rehi gloria e mai nā rono kiri nei te whenua I whakaropa ki nā tāna takatoa āmeni. He mihi tia tahi tēnei ki tō tātai kaihana, nāna nei I homai tēnei kaupapa a tāhua mō tātou, nāna no e te tīmatana me te whakamutina o nā mea katoa. Tuarua me tukunātu te mai oha aroha ki wa mātou mātua, kia arapeta te peka taitapanui rawa ko te hui no te ao taitapanui. Nā rawa e homai te aroha ki te poipoi i tō mātou mokopuna i a wali. Kua whetirani tia rawa kai te noho mai tā rawa wairua hei whakamahana i tōna tamaiti. Tuatoru ki nā Pākeke o taua tamaiti a wali kia tahai rawa ko Connie, tēnei te mihi atu kia kōrua. Nā kōrua i whānau mai taua mokopuna ki tēnei ao, nā kōrua no i poipoi i tōna tīmatana ki tēnei ao. Te mihi whakamutina moku, me tukunātu tēnei ki a koe, Wali, te tamaiti o te ao, te tamaiti haua, ahakoa tō mauiwi, tō āhuatana, ko e runa i nā whakaaro o tō kuia me tō kraua, ko kuia no hoki te tō o te ao. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi atu kia koutou e whakarona mai, e whakaarere mai o tarina, ki tēnei whakatirana. Kia ora. I'm going to read you the story that was written by